Welcome to Wanderlust and Wishes, the podcast where we explore the world one destination at a time.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Krystle.
As travel agents with fantastical vacations, we are here to share our passion for travel and help you turn your wanderlust into reality.
From hidden gems to bucket list adventures, join us as we dive into the sights, sounds, and stories of our favorite destinations.
So grab your passport, pack your bags, and let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to episode 19 of Wanderlust and Wishes. This episode, as you'll recall, is a part 2 to our review of Walt Disney World Resorts Deluxe Resort category. We're going to cover everything other than the Magic Kingdom resorts that we talked about in episode 18. But first, Krystle has just returned from her Disneyland trip, so I want to hear all about it.
Well, it was so fun. It was so great to be back. Although with the Oogie Boogie, I don't feel like I rested at all.
Well, your first day, you were on your feet for like 18 or 19 hours.
Yeah, with the time change, I was looking at my watch and if I really wanted to, I could have probably pulled 24 hours of my stand. So we got in early Sunday. Our room was not ready, but with the time change and with no traffic, we were to our hotel before 10 a.m., which is crazy. So we went and explored downtown Disney. Amazon Fresh was being weird and saying that I couldn't get a delivery same day. So we walked to a CVS and found some diapers and some snacks and stuff. Had lunch downtown. But so we shopped downtown Disney, kind of did some window shopping. Kids kind of got excited to see what they were going to see. We had lunch at, what's the sandwich place? Earl Sandwich. So after lunch, we went back to the hotel just to be like, hey, can we get our bags to get our swim stuff? And they're like, actually, we're just going to text you. We have one room ready. And then the lady was like, oh, let me look and see if there's another room. So they ended up getting us in, which was great. The kids swam. I met a friend in the parks for a couple hours to get some content. And then we were to In-N-Out for dinner. I tried to go to bed early because we were all exhausted. And then Monday we did Disneyland all day. We rope dropped and started in Fantasyland and did a bunch of those like little rides that I don't ever think about doing. And that was fun because we got so many of those out of the way very quickly.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you get on Toads?
Yes. Not until Thursday though. Because it was closed Monday morning. And then we started like getting into the lightning lane stuff. So it was a priority for Thursday. We did get on. I know you were salty about not getting on your trip.
I want to ride it so bad.
So we hung out there. We did so much. In fact, Julie texted me, was like, I'm a little bit worried. I haven't seen anything. I was like, we've been riding so many rides. And we met so many characters. I need to find the kids' autograph books because we saw probably 30 characters over the course of 3 days. And some like multiple times. So after we did those little rides, we had breakfast at the Plaza Inn with Minnie. But Minnie was busy cooking waffles. So we met Daisy first and then had breakfast. And then Minnie showed up later. So we still got to meet her too. I'm trying to think of what we did. We did so much. Well, Tuesday, I ran over to the resorts, the on-property resorts, just to kind of look around. We swam. We did Oogie Boogie. We tried to leave our hotel about 2 to get over there by 2:15 because the lines were crazy when I saw them on Sunday and they start letting you in at 3. And it's a good thing because they open the gates at 2:45. There was a guy in front of us calling his significant other like, the gates are open. Where are you? Everybody's going in. There was no point in me staying in line because you aren't here.
Yeah, I'm sure he was not happy.
Well, that's John's like, it's Disney. You never know. How often are things open early? And I was like, exactly. So we ran straight to the Incredicoaster because it said it had a 15-minute wait. And we were dressed as the Incredibles. And Mr. Incredible was out and the line attendant saw me like hustling to her. And she's like, I was supposed to close the line, but I haven't turned anybody away yet. So if you are here to get a picture, hurry and hop in so I can start turning people away because he needs to go pick up the kids from school.
That's so cute.
So we got a great picture. He was so excited to see us. And every time as the family came, he just was like, another one, another one. Like, it was so fun. So we rode that. We tried to get like web slingers out of the way, and we did a Guardians ride. We found a good spot for the parade and started doing like the treat trails. We got so much candy. Like, I don't think I need to buy Halloween candy. It was crazy. And we saw so many villains. We saw Hans from Frozen. And I was
No
like, Harper, look, it's
way.
Hans. And she goes, no, Mom, it's Prince Hans of the Seven Isles. I was like, okay. He was out
Right,
meeting
Mom.
with Prince John from King Arthur.
Oh,
Like,
you mean
I've never,
Prince John? Are you talking about from Robin Hood?
yes, like I've never seen him out and about ever.
I would have freaked out.
Yeah, so we actually stood in line to meet him. Harper just kind of waved at Prince Hans. They had some weird villains, like Miss Dr. Doom, is that his name? From Roger Rabbit.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't understand that one. But then we saw like Bruno and Lotso, and we didn't even make it to the whole, like, I didn't see Madame Mim. We didn't make it to her, but we saw like
I would have loved to
Sid.
get a picture with her.
I know. We did see Sid, and we saw Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I don't know how to say his name. We saw Oogie Boogie, Ernesto de la Cruz. I did see Edna Mode. She was singing The Incredible Spot. We just saw so many. It was like character after character after character. And then we ended up shutting down Radiator Springs Racers, and Harper rode that thing 3 times in 40 minutes. So her price of admission for Oogie Boogie was paid for, and as many times as she got to ride that in single pass. So Wednesday, we got a late start. We did California Adventure, and we did so much there. Basically everything we wanted to do. It was late afternoon, and we were getting ready to leave, and we ended up finding a walk-up Lamplight Lounge reservation.
No way.
Yeah, so
That never happens.
it was on the boardwalk, and we sat and watched. I'll have to send you a picture. The Incredicoaster take off, and it was like the vibes were immaculate, but my kids were over the day. They were so tired.
Yeah.
Reese needed a nap, so it was kind of like I was frustrated as a parent because they were being unruly. And where they had us sitting, it wasn't like an actual table. It was more like patio furniture. So that's hard for the kids to eat.
Yeah.
But the nachos are top tier, so it was worth it. We left early, got some shopping in downtown. Thursday, we got up and did Disneyland and did everything that we did not do, plus hit some of the big hitters again. So, like Matterhorn, we got evacuated. We were on the very top.
You had a good view.
I had a great view, and I got to ride an elevator down the middle of it and ask questions about a basketball hoop that was confirmed. And we were up there forever, but we got a multi-experience pass. But Thursday was a rough day as far as like rides. So Matterhorn was down most of the morning. Indy was down. We went to try and get on Big Thunder because we had a lightning lane. It went down. So we had a multi-experience for that. Small World is down for refurb. Rise did not open up until after lunchtime. So I was kind of wishing we had a hopper because everything was down, but it worked out. Most everything opened up, and we ended up doing everything we wanted to do. But it was just
it probably gave you a chance to like slow down a little bit too, since you guys were so tired, you know?
Yes. And there was a point where John and the kids went and did Star Wars because I was like, I don't want to deal with like stroller swap. Reese needs a nap. We'd rope drop Mickey and Minnie's that morning because I wanted to see the queue instead of using a lightning lane.
Mhm.
And Reese really wanted to see Pete, and Pete was supposed to come out at rope drop, but he never came out. So I saw on the app the last time he was supposed to be out was like why they were in Star Wars. So we booked it over to Toontown, caught Pete, caught
yay.
Donald for Reese. She was so excited. And then she strollered out for a minute. So it was a whirlwind of a trip, but we got everything done that we wanted to and more. And it was so fun. But now it's just like back into reality and
Back to reality, boo.
yeah. So I did do some on the goes. So maybe we can piece those together for a bonus episode.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay. So are you ready to jump into the content?
Yes.
Okay. And just as a reminder, we are going over everything that is not the 4 Magic Kingdom resorts. It's a lot of resorts. It's more than the 4 that we covered before. So just bear with us as we go through all of these. We're going to start out in the Epcot area. Epcot has 3-ish, three resorts that are walking distance. They are right around the corner from the International Gateway entrance. And it's just an awesome experience to stay at one of these and be able to walk right over to Epcot. It's really nice. So the first 2 are kind of like sister resorts. They're basically share most of the same amenities. They do have separate dining, but they share a pool. And there's also some of the, I believe you can take a bus from either one of them, that kind of thing. So Yacht Club and Beach Club.
Actually, all 3, the bus will stop at all 3 along the way. So you could hop off at any of them and walk if you needed to.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, but the 2 that are kind of like right next to each other and they do share the same pool are Disney's Yacht Club Resort and Beach Club Resort. Do you want to talk through the accommodations?
Yes. So Yacht Club, this is, as you would guess, probably it's nautical themed of the lake, and you can get standard garden or water view rooms. There's a couple of like suite configurations. You can get into your like villas too. And it's just very elegant with like New England nautical theme. It's like your navy blues, your whites, your rich wood.
Yeah, the lobby is beautiful. I love just sitting in the lobby.
Transportation, walking, you are walking distance to Epcot and the boardwalk. You could technically walk to Hollywood Studios, but it's going to be a bit of a hike. And then you have obviously the buses. As far as dining, you have the Yachtsman Steakhouse, which is like a signature dining experience that offers premium steaks and seafood. You have El Encompass Restaurant, which is more like a casual dining, New England inspired dishes. You have Cruise Cup Lounge, a cozy spot for drinks and light bites. The market at El Encompass is more like your quick service option for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then your recreation, Stormalong Bay. It's the 3-acre water wonderland that they share with the beach club. And it has a sand bottom pool, a lazy river, water slides, like a massive water slide across like the whole sidewalk. I love this pool. It's so fun.
It's definitely the like considered the best pool at Walt Disney World.
For sure. They do have like a lazy river, but I do know that it used to be like a snorkeling experience. So in some places it gets very deep, but they have like inner tubes that you can get, or they have life jackets as all the pools do for the kids. You have your Ship Shape Health Club, which is your fitness center. You have Bayside Marina, which is where your boat rentals and water activities are.
Okay, so moving into Disney's Beach Club Resort, it similarly has the same types of accommodations, and the theming is also New England based, but it's more of a beachy theme versus the nautical theme. And this lobby is also just, I love both of these resorts. I love being just in their vicinity. The pool, even if you aren't staying there and you happen to go to one of the restaurants for dining and you just want to sit there, you can just sit and like be in that area. The pool is just so awesome. As Krystle mentioned, there's a section of it that has a sand bottom, which is really unique. Like there aren't any other pools that have that at Walt Disney World.
I will say, I was worried about the sand bottom because sand and little kids, it's not like fine sand. It's almost a little bit bigger. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's not like your Caribbean find flowery sand. They're like bigger grained, almost like rock salt, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about it, don't be. It doesn't like stick to you like all over your legs like flowery sand will.
Yeah, it's not quite the same. They do something to it so that it feels like sand, but it doesn't get all over you like sand on the beach does.
Yes.
It's magic sand.
Yes, it is.
And they do have, as Krystle was mentioning, their slide, it's based on a shipwreck, but it goes across the walkway that like you walk around to get through the resorts. It's humongous. And you can see it as you're walking by the resorts because it's so big. They have a kiddie pool area like typical, and then hot tubs, and they do have separate quiet pool if you are not into all of the chaos of the main Stormalong Bay area.
This does have a couple of cabanas, but since it is split between both resorts, they are harder to get.
Yeah. They are so nice though. Every time I walk by there, if I'm just walking by and I see people in them, I'm so jealous of them just hanging out in those cabanas.
I know one of our fellow agents, they like to go every year in September, which is like a good off time. And she likes to get one for her family and she raves about them every time because they like to stay here.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. And speaking of suites, there are, for accommodations, they do have suites. This resort is also a DVC resort. Like we talked about last episode, we're going to have the deluxe studio option along with the 1, 2, and 3 bedroom villas that will be available at this resort as well. And they are, as I mentioned before, they're beachy themed with light blues and whites and just beach inspired decor overall. Transportation wise, it's the same as Yacht Club, walking distance to Epcot, and obviously the Boardwalk Resort is right across from them. You do have water taxis as well that you can take to Epcot or Disney's Hollywood Studios, then buses that you can get to the other theme parks and Disney Springs. From a dining perspective, you have Cape May Cafe, which does have a character dining for breakfast with Minnie. And then the later offers for dinner, that is a seafood buffet. Beaches and Cream, we go to this place every time. And it's honestly really difficult to go and actually eat and then get dessert. So because you can't fit it all in. So if you go to get food, it's almost like, and you do want to get dessert, get something that you can share between maybe at least 2 people so that you're not so full that when you get your dessert that you can't eat it, because that's happened to us a couple of times. And so we've had to learn to be a little bit smarter. But you can also go just to get ice cream or dessert. And they have, from my perspective, they have lots of gluten-free options, which is amazing. And I love going here and getting the brownie sundae. Martha's Vineyard is a lounge. Hurricane Hannah's, it is the waterside bar and grill. And in addition to dining, they have, as we've mentioned, they have the pool, Stormalong Bay, Shipshape Health Club, Bayside Marina, similar to Yacht Club, where you can rent boats and do various water activities. They have the tennis courts and movies under the stars.
Moving over to Disney's Boardwalk Villas and Resorts. This also has like your villas options. The rooms are designed with like a whimsical vintage boardwalk theme featuring bright colors and charming details.
They just redid the DVC rooms. Actually, I think they just redid all of the rooms, but I went on a tour of the redecorated DVC rooms and they're so pretty.
This one, I don't think about as much just because it's kind of set up. It's not set up like your traditional resort since it is on the boardwalk. So like, obviously you have like your regular, like your walking, your boats and your buses, like the other two, but then they have stuff out on the boardwalk is kind of like the bulk of the resort. So dining, they do have a lot of dining. They have the Flying Fish signature dining experience, which is like fresh seafood and steaks. Trattoria Al Forno is the Italian restaurant that serves breakfast and dinner. You have the Boardwalk Bakery, which is a quick service spot for pastries, sandwiches, and coffee. There's the Big River Grill and Brewing Works, a microbrewery offering American cuisine and craft beers. The Abracadab Bar, a magic theme lounge with specialty cocktails. The Leaping Horse Libations, which is the poolside bar with snacks and drinks. As far as recreation, they have the Luna Park Pool, which is like a carnival themed pool area featuring a 200-foot long water slide called the Easter Coaster. And I know it used to be like a creepy clown, but now it's based off of like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad kind of.
Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of the clown because it was definitely creepy.
They do have 2 quiet pools. And I know by the main pool, they have like a park structure for kids.
Yeah.
You have your community hall, which is like games, arts and crafts, and other activities. You have the Muscles and Bustles Health Club. The names for some of these get me. I love it. And then obviously the Boardwalk, which is the resort's namesake. There's like the carnival games, street performers, and evening entertainment. So as part of that, you have Jelly Rolls, which is the popular dueling piano bar. This is for guests over 21, and you can enjoy live music, sing-alongs, and talented pianist. There's a cover charge, but if you get the chance, this is a really fun spot.
Very fun.
We spent some time there after our agency meeting this last trip, and we sang our hearts out till all hours of the morning. There's the Atlantic Dance Hall, which is like a dance club open in the evenings featuring a DJ and spacious dance floor. There's also cover charge. Random street performers throughout the evening, from magicians and jugglers and things all along the boardwalk. You have the carnival games, like I mentioned, the movie Under the Stars, bike rentals, the ESPN Club, which is a sports bar and restaurant where you can catch live sports and broadcasts while enjoying American fare. And then there's a bunch of like little various shops along there.
Yeah. And they're really cute. And if you decide that you want to go over there and walk around, it's kind of nice, especially if it's in the summer, to be able to go in to the AC. Even if you aren't planning to buy anything, you just want to look. It's a nice thing. And I know that a lot of people really, really like to do the bike rentals and ride them all around the boardwalk and in that area in general. There's lots of space to do that.
This area's been under construction for quite a while, but I think they're waiting on one bakery little shop. But besides that, it should be just about all wrapped up.
I know. I can't wait until that thing opens though, because I'm pretty sure it's going to have afternoon tea, which is nice. Something that Grand Floridian still doesn't have back that they used to do. And so, especially those that are asking for like their little girls that they want to do an afternoon tea with like mom and daughter, that is something that I've been asked for several times, and it's not available because it's not at Grand Floridian anymore. And so I can't wait until this place opens because it'll give an option for that.
All right, let's head over to Julie's home, the Riv.
Yes. This will definitely just like spoiler alert. This will be my favorite on this list. I love this resort. This is our home resort as DVC members, the Disney's Riviera Resort. It is inspired by the elegance and charm of the European Riviera, and it is based on Walt's travels to the Riviera, which I love. And it has lots of memorabilia in the resort, all around the resort, that shows him traveling with Lillian, and it's just super neat. I love that kind of stuff, as you guys know. So from an accommodation standpoint, this resort is the first one that had the Tower Studio, which sleeps 2 people. They didn't build too many of them They probably now wish that they had because I think they're pretty popular. And now they've added that as an option to the new Poly Tower. Then they also have the deluxe studios, the 1-bedroom villa, 2-bedroom villa, and the 3-bedroom grand villa. So this resort is exclusively DVC. So it doesn't have, like the others, it doesn't have a standard room versus a deluxe studio. Everything is basically a DVC option. And then they open it up. As we've mentioned, they open up those rooms for non-DVC members to be able to reserve. One of the things that we love most about this deluxe studio is it sleeps up to 5, and it also has 2 showers. And I think that was something I meant to mention that when we were talking about Polynesian. I believe that these 2 resorts are the only 2 that have the ability to sleep 5 in the deluxe studio, and they have 2 showers, which is amazing when you have 2 basically teenage girls that fight over everything. It has its own Skyliner station that goes to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And then everything else is bus to Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Disney Springs. From an amenity standpoint, they have the pool, which is, it's kind of like, it has like almost like a Tuscan tower as the slide. And then they have also a separate quiet pool. They do have a fitness center. They have an activity lawn, which has bocce ball and chess, a big, huge like chess game that you can play. They also do movies out on the lawn, like we've talked about. Just like the other areas, there's a little space or a little room that you can go to during the day for crafts and things, it's cute. They always do fun little things in there. And one of the things it's known for, as I mentioned, is they have lots of art and decor that's inspired by Disney, but it's also European Riviera. They have beautiful artwork all throughout the resort, and you can actually buy copies of the prints in their shop, in their like gift shop area. Dining, Topolino's Terrace, Flavors of the Riviera. It is at the top of the resort. It has a character breakfast that Krystle and our friend Monica and I did when we went on our trip in June. And we had such a good time. It's so fun. They also have a fine dining experience that is at dinner. So that's not going to have characters, and it's going to be more like you probably need to dress up a little bit. Like you don't want to wear your park clothes. I don't think that they're going to make you leave, but you're going to feel really uncomfortable in your park clothes if you eat dinner here. They also have Primo Piatto. That is their quick service. And Le Petit Cafe. It's a coffee bar, and it also transitions into a wine bar at night. So this is the place that I visit every morning to get a coffee. So I know this place well. And then they have Bar Riva, which is right next to the pool. And they have really cool sandwiches. A lot of them are Mediterranean inspired type sandwiches, or just the food in general and the drinks. But it's really neat because it's right next to the pool. So just like some of the other areas, you can do like a quick service order and bring it right over to the pool, and you have a good old time.
So she failed to mention that this is the current newest resort on property until the new Poly Tower opens. So it is very fresh and very just elegant. All right, we're going to move over to the Disney Springs area. The next 2 that we're going to talk about, they're both kind of pretty spread out as far as like land wise. So if you rent a car, this is a great option. Yeah. So the first one is the Old Key West Resort. It's a charming, laid back resort inspired by like the romance of the Florida Keys. It also has a lot of the studio and villa room types, your deluxe studio, your 1, 2, 3 bedroom.
It is a DVC only resort as well. It's actually the very first DVC resort. So the rooms are gigantic.
Yes. So if you want like a big family price wise, I always look here in Saratoga first because they're well priced because you are not as close to the parks. So, like I said, these are like your Florida Keys. So their rooms are designed with like your tropical Key West theme, featuring like pastel colors and nautical touches. You do have boats, but they're water taxis to Disney Springs. And as we saw this summer, these only run if there's enough water to get there. So they're having some issues with some drought. So they weren't running for a minute, but you can get buses to anywhere. You do have your sandcastle pool. This has a big 125-foot water slide. It's sandcastle themed play area, which is really cool. And then you have your quiet pools. You have a fitness center, tennis courts. You have a community hall, which is like your games and arts and crafts, your bike rentals. There is a golf course here. It's adjacent to Disney's Buena Vista golf course.
I feel like it's just like a very kind of golf course vibe as well.
Yes.
Just because of the way that it's a very Florida resort,
Yes.
It has that vibe for sure.
As far as dining, we have Olivia's Cafe. I feel like this is kind of underrated. You have like your casual, so it's casual dining, and they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with flavors of Florida. You just ate here. What did you think?
We did, yeah. We would definitely go back. We had a really rough experience before, like on our way. This was the night that our Uber driver decided to like, I don't even know what he was doing. And he went some weird way. And then we got stuck in this awful traffic and we missed our original reservation. And it took us like an hour and a half to get there from our resort, the resort that we were staying at off property to get to this restaurant. And so we were all a little crabby by the time we got there.
A little bit hangry.
Yeah, they were so amazing, as cast members always are. They were fantastic. Our waitress immediately like swept in and made sure we had rolls. And as soon as we sat down, because we had a bit of an afternoon, so yeah, we had a great experience and I loved it. I thought I thought the atmosphere was, I don't know how to explain it. It was almost like a mom and pop's kind of atmosphere,
I love that. That's my favorite. We also have the Gurgling Suitcase Libations and Spirits, which is a cozy bar that serves drinks and light bites, goods, food to go, a quick service spot like for like sandwiches and snacks. There's also the Turtle Shack poolside snacks. This is located near one of the quiet pools, offering like your pool snacks and drinks. So, like I said, this is just great if you have like groups or like a large family. I do feel like this is probably one of the cheapest. I don't want to say like cheap as in like amenities, but cheap as in price, Deluxe. And then right there also close is the Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. If Julie wants to talk about that one.
This is also a DVC resort, and it also is the other resort that has a spa other than Grand Floridian. So if that's something that's of interest to you, having something like that, this is a great one. And as the name suggests, it is inspired by Saratoga Springs in New York, which is known for spas and horse racing. So it has lots of tie-in to horse racing. It actually, like on its logo, it has a racehorse.
Like all the Disney horses are like on the walls of the lobby.
Similar to the other DVC resorts, it has the Deluxe Studio, the 1-bedroom villa, 2-bedroom villa, and the 3-bedroom grand villa. And just as a reminder, the Deluxe Studio sleeps up to 4, depending on the resort. Some of these sleep up to 5, but this one is 4. The 1-bedroom also sleeps 4. The 2-bedroom sleeps up to 8, and then the grand villa sleeps up to 12. Someday we're gonna do a 3-bedroom grand villa. Someday. I don't know what resort it's gonna be, but it's gonna happen. And along with basically that Saratoga Springs theming, it's Victorian style decor. So it has pastel colors and just that like Victorian era furnishing in there.
Almost like a country club, like a horse country club.
Yes, that's perfect. That's a perfect description. transportation, you have a water taxi to Disney Springs, but you can also just walk to Disney Springs, depending on where you are. You can walk from wherever, but depending on where you are on the resort, you may not, it might be a bit of a hike to get all the way over to the entrance of Disney Springs. And then obviously there's bus service to everywhere else. They have the High Rock Spring Pool. That is their main pool that features a water slide, whirlpool spa, and they do have an interactive play area for the kids. And then they have 3 additional quiet pools, which is really nice if you don't want to be in the main pool area. As with the other resorts, they have fitness center, tennis courts, the community hall, and bike rentals. This one, because it's in that same space, it also is close to Disney's Lake Buena Vista Golf Course. So it's right in that area. And it's very convenient if you want to go play golf, if that's part of the reason that you're there. Or maybe, somebody in your party wants to play golf. This would be a good one because it's right next to it. Dining, they have the Turf Club Bar and Grill. It is casual dining, offering American cuisine with a focus on steaks and seafood. The Artist Palette, this is a quick service spot that does have breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. The Paddock Grill, this is next. This is the poolside dining that has a selection of sandwiches, salads, and drinks. And then on the rocks, this is the poolside bar option. We're moving on to the last one in this episode. And it is extremely unique in location and in the decor.
So if you have not guessed, but we are going to cover Animal Kingdom Lodge now. This one is unique because it is divided into like 2 main areas. You have Jumbo House and Kidani Village. So we are going to kind of split it up a little bit. So which one's the main one?
So the main one is Jumbo House, and that's the one that was built like originally. And then Kidani Village is the DVC one that they added later.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify. Okay. So Jumbo House, you have standard rooms featuring African-inspired decor and views of the resort pool or parking area. Then the kicker, you have your Savannah View rooms. So you can wake up and see giraffes or zebras or antelope out your window, which is very unique. And then you also have some suites and villas, 1, 2, 3-bedroom villas with full kitchens and living areas. And then at Kidani Village, since it is the DVC part, you have your deluxe studios, your 1, 2, 3-bedroom villas.
You do have, I think they also have the option for Savannah room, a Savannah View at Kidani Village too.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, it's just a different section of the Savannah.
Yes. So these are a little bit of a hike between the 2 parts. So they offer on-site transportation between the 2 back and forth. And then you have bus transportation to all the theme parks and to Disney Springs. That is the one kicker, that it's so far out there that you have the bus. There's been talk, but I don't know if they ever will because of the Savannah, but everybody wishes there would be like a Skyliner to Animal Kingdom.
Yep. Or at least like something that connects Animal Kingdom to this resort. Like,
yeah.
The thing with like a lot of these other resorts is if you're right next to that resort, you have some type of different transportation or quick transportation. And this one doesn't have that. And that's the hard part with this one.
Yeah. So as far as recreation, you have the Uzima Springs pool at Jumbo House, which is like their main pool with the water slide. There's 0 depth entry, hot tub. There is the, you giving me these names, Samwati Springs pool at the Kidani Village, which is where their water slide and splash area for the kids are, and also has 2 hot tubs. And then you have a fitness center, animal viewing. So even if you're not staying here, you can just take a bus here and walk around and see the animals. There's like an animal viewing area. They have like 200 animals and birds that you can see, but they also offer like night vision goggles for guests. They also have like a cultural program where you can do like, they have like African storytelling, drumming, crafts. I saw someone recently, they did like a identify the animal by their feces and by their footprints. So they have all kinds of like unique things like that. As far as dining, at Jumbo House, you have Jico. This is the cooking place, a signature dining restaurant offering African-inspired cuisine with a focus on wood-fired meats and seafood. Boma, Flavors of Africa, a buffet-style restaurant serving breakfast and dinner with a variety of African dishes. The Mara, which is their quick service restaurant. They have American and African-inspired options. The Victoria Falls Lounge is a cozy spot for cocktails and light bites. And then at Kidani Village, you have Sanaa, which is offering like Indian African inspired dishes with views of the savannah. And this is where everybody gets the bread.
Yes. It's the famous bread service for sure. Yeah. And Boma is one of my daughter's favorite places to go. She loves this place. So we often are at the main lodge because of this, because we get reservation there.
Is this where they get the zebra domes?
Yes. Yes. Zebra domes are available here, and you can get gluten-free zebra domes, which is amazing. They bring those out. This is also, when you think of Animal Kingdom Lodge, that's Jumbo House. That's the one that has the huge, beautiful lobby, very similar in feel to Wilderness Lodge. It has the huge ceilings, high ceilings, has a huge tree at Christmas. It's beautiful. It's definitely one of my favorite places to go. And I really, it is on my bucket list to stay in a Savannah room. I really just need to toss out the window, the worry about the transportation. That's usually, that wins out, a lot of times.
So, and as far as price, you have like Old Key West and Saratoga. Animal Kingdom also usually prices very well, just because it is so far out. The Savannah View rooms do cost more, but like a standard just to be on property, especially with any promo, it usually prices very well. So don't let it scare you because it's a deluxe.
Yeah. And there was a lot of times when they have those promotions for like 30% off or whatever, it's even better.
Yeah. And one thing that I don't know if we've mentioned yet, all of deluxe, when you're staying deluxe, you have the option to have deluxe evening hours at certain resorts.
Yeah.
So it might be worth a little extra to get extra time in the park without the crowds of the day, especially in the summer when it's so hot. It's a good little hack per se.
Yeah. It's not all the time. So you just have to kind of figure out if that's something that's going to be offered while you're there. But we've used it before and it's really nice because they keep the parks open for an additional like 2 or 3 hours.
All right. So of this list, rank them, Julie.
Okie dokie. My number 1 is going to be Riviera because I can't help it. It's my favorite. And I think my second, it's going to kind of be a tie between Yacht Club and Beach Club. I think those two are pretty equal when it comes to wanting to, staying there. I think because they share a lot of the same amenities and they're in the same area. We've stayed at Yacht Club. We have not stayed at Beach Club, but I love the vibe of both of those. Now it's going to get difficult. I think my next one would probably be Animal Kingdom Lodge. And then probably Boardwalk Village just because of their location. And then Old Key West and Saratoga Springs. I think that's all of them.
I've got to go with Boardwalk as my number 1. When we stayed there, it was just, you're shocked. I think the pool, and I know John would go back. I like staying at the Riviera, but I know he thinks it's too fancy. And I will give it to the Riviera. They have like a better like quick service option over boardwalk or over beach club and yacht club because they're like quick service is kind of just like a little, I don't know, it's almost, those like things you see in the middle of the gas station. It's like pre-made sandwiches.
Oh, at Yacht and Beach Club.
Yeah. It's not really like a
Oh yeah,
restaurant.
we love Riviera's Primo Piatto. We order there like almost every day, in some capacity.
Yeah. So if I did like a beach and yacht first, probably Riviera, then Animal Kingdom, and then probably Saratoga for the theming. But then Boardwalk. Like I said, I never think about Boardwalk just because I think I'd rather go to beach or yacht be right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Old Key West, probably just because I would pick Saratoga because of the horses over.
I thought you said Boardwalk at first and not Beach Club. I think that was why I was like, what?
Oh, maybe I did. But if I did, I meant
like
Beach Club first and foremost because of the pool.
Boardwalk is your first. So
no,
maybe
no.
Maybe I misheard, or maybe you just meant Beach Club.
I could have misspoke.
That's why I had the face that I had. That's why I was like, wait.
No, okay.
What's going on here?
Let's go back here. Beach and yacht first. Riviera second. Animal Kingdom third. Saratoga fourth. And then Boardwalk and Old Key West down there at the bottom. Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just not my vibe.
Yeah, right. I mean, we talked about that on the last episode, that sometimes with the deluxe resorts, especially if you're talking about the ones that are close to the parks, and they all have these amazing theming and amenities, and it's hard to pick one over the other. And sometimes it's just about the vibe. And I'm like, obviously, I'm like emotionally connected to Riviera and financially connected to Riviera.
Where our room was too at the beach club, we kind of snuck out a side door and we're by the one quiet pool that is literally 100 yards from the entrance to the Epcot. So you can't beat that location.
And I think, I'm trying to remember if I was at Yacht Club or Beach Club. I think it was Beach Club. I was sitting in the lobby when I was there on my like day by myself on our last trip. And I was just sitting there trying to get out of the heat because it was 8 billion degrees outside. And I was sitting there and I think it was Chip that came up, and he just, because they had characters that were just roaming around the lobby, which is also something that happens at the deluxe resorts that you don't always see at the other resorts. And he just came up and started harassing me. And there happened to be a PhotoPass photographer, and he just started taking pictures. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you taking a picture? And I turn around and he's behind me. I don't know what he was doing. He was harassing me. But that's a fun memory too.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to hear what your favorite deluxe resorts are and how you would rank them, what your favorite features are. So let us know on Instagram or shoot us an email. And if you would like to stay at a deluxe resort, we have a quote form linked in the show notes that is always there if you are interested in any sort of vacation.
They are
We'd be happy to help you.
They are amazing. You won't be disappointed, I can say for sure.
Yeah, they're pretty special.
Thanks for listening this week.
Great week.
Yeah, have a fantastic week. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Wanderlust and Wishes.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform.
And remember, the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. Until next time, happy travels.
Bye for now.